Good morning, everybody. This is Todd with the Forex Nitty Gritty Insiders Daily video. I hope you're having a great day today and your week's going well. We had some pretty good movements over the last little bit in the markets. We had the FOMC release its minute meetings, or meeting minutes, I should say, from their last FOMC meeting. And we saw quite a bit of a reaction to that. And if you were trading or watching the market, you saw the move on that be fairly substantial in the range of 100 plus pips movement pretty quickly on some of these pairs that are based with the U.S. dollar. That type of movement can allow us to take advantage of some pretty great things. Now, it's been fairly flat since then, so we have to be careful that we recognize that after a move like that things can settle down or even pull back a little bit in what they're doing. So keep that in mind. Today, we did have unemployment numbers come out, which the forecast was for it to be at 365,000 for the unemployment claims. Came in at 372,000, so up about 7,000 above what the forecast was. Consumer confidence in Europe came in less than the forecast, so the forecast was a negative 22, came in at a negative 25. On the positive side, new home sales came out at 372,000 versus at 363,000, so we have a bump up in that, and so some good with some bad, but right now the markets are pretty tricky, and we need to be careful that we control our risk in what we're doing. Wanted to spend just a few minutes here talking about possible entries using the simple trading method, and you can see here that we've got a currency, the 15-minute chart of the euro dollar, that's moving up, so we're starting to see some bullish momentum here. We're getting this pullback, and a lot of times we look at that pullback as a time to get into the trade as it's setting up a resumption of this trend back in here. And so when we see something like that, we should be thinking that it's possible that the time is now to look for an entry here. And I'm going to put onto here the moving average, 40-period moving average. You can see it's moving up. So if we were to look at entering into this, we would be going back, and we'll assume that we're looking at the closing candles of each of these. Our entry here would be above the highest high of the last three. So we'd enter into this. We'd have our stop below, the most recent low, so maybe down in here as it starts to move back up again. As we move forward on here, you're going to see that we got into this on that next bar, and it continued to move up. Now, we may have a target up, at the previous high for part of our position, whatever it might be. As we look at this entry, you can see that we hit it right there for that first target. And then if we didn't do that, we would have certainly caught this move up here. If we would have, get rid of these lines. If we would have missed out on that first one, well, we had another opportunity right here to go long if it moves above the high side of the last three. So it did it there. We'd have entered in, and a nice little pop-up. Now, it's pulling back here, so the question would be, do we have another opportunity? And as we go forward, right now the high side of the last three in this one is this candle right here. Go to the next candle. Highest high of the last three is right there. So pretty close to getting filled on that. And we would have gotten filled here. Our stop would have been below the most recent low there. Continuing to move up. And you can see what's happened since then. So the key is that we're able to identify those areas where the price has pulled back towards the moving average, towards an area of support, and then look to get in as it continues that movement to the upside. Now, the reverse would be true if we're looking at a shorting opportunity to the downside, as we'd be looking at the lowest low of the last three. So take some time to practice with that. Make sure that you understand the rules for entering into it. This happened to be a 15-minute chart. This rule is valid with any type of chart that you're looking at. So take some time to review that. If you have questions, feel free to let us know. But practice and make sure that you're comfortable entering into those trades using those rules for the simple trading method. So until tomorrow, everybody have a great rest of the day, and we'll talk to you soon.